I know this is a hot take, and I'm sure it's going to piss a few of you off in the comments below, but this is just a thought I've been having. We have covered so many of these new pocket gimbal cameras, the Luna Ultra, the DJI Pocket 4P, this new Xtra camera that's supposed to be coming out. Are they a little overhyped and kind of a fad in the camera world, or are they really that good that they're replacing your whole camera package? Take a look at this clip and let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree with me, or are they really that good? We have covered the Luna and the Xtra Muse and the DJI, all these pocket cameras. And I'm just like, when I sit down and think about it, Jake, I need your thoughts, and you guys that are watching, feel free to roast me and tell me I'm wrong. Is this just a little overblown of a fad, or is it really that impressive of a camera? Because
what,
so
the
much
360 or the
no, we're jumping.
gimbal,
Sorry, we're jumping now. The gimbal camera.
Just gotta clarify. We gotta clarify.
No, I appreciate it because I kind of jumped in my head, but not for everybody else. I just have seen so much footage, and maybe it's just because I'm in deep to it right now, but like, you don't actually need a gimbal for most of these like creator shots. And so that's just where I'm like, is it the best form factor?
Yes and no. Look, I think there's an aspect of this that I think is we're looking at these gimbals, to be honest, from here. We're looking at it as people who own Ronins, who work with Steadicam ops, like who work.
But Jake, how often do you use your Ronin?
Every other shoot?
Every shot of every other shoot?
No, I mean, yesterday I was on a shoot, used it the entire day. But that's what we were going for. Like, I've rigged out my Ronin. I actually used the crane, the Shun, whatever. Whatever. I love how Ronin's become the default though for gimbal.
It's like Kleenex. Yeah,
exactly.
Like
but you know, I've rigged out my gimbal to put my monopod at the base of it.
Right.
So I was doing kind of like tracking with like a vlog essentially for a client. And so I'm running around following him with the gimbal, and then he's kind of sitting and talking. And so I'm like, great, set the monopod down. Great. Now we're up and moving again. So like, it doesn't kill my arms. It's instead of having a full, vest, easy rig, this is my way of doing it. And so having had to follow around lots of people with the gimbal and have my arms absolutely be murdered after 2 times, this was kind of the solution I figured out. Now, and again, it goes back to niche. What is your niche? If you're shooting, podcasts, no, you don't need a gimbal.
Right.
But I look at it at the reason why I say we're looking at it from the top down, the bottom, rather than the bottom up. If you're, and I think it's exactly what Todd said on our show last week, 2 weeks, a couple of weeks ago, whatever. He's like, this is the perfect dad cam. And that's the mindset where I think that's the bottom up. We're looking at, this is the dad, the mom, the upcoming content creator who goes, okay, I'm going to let the phone be the phone, but I want to shoot with the gimbal. And it's like, this is cool. And it's like, couple $100, it's $600, $700, or I want to just start getting into YouTube. Great. I can selfie this now. Like, it's
sure.
That's the way I like, 100%. So you don't get this. You get actually cool, stable shots. I can follow my friends while we're skateboarding. I can basically it's the alternative, in my opinion, of like what GoPro sold us when we first started out. Like, whoa, you can get these cool action shots. It's hey, now you can get these cool smooth shots. You can talk to it. You can do this. It is that entry level to vlogging, content creation, and to YouTubing, for lack of a better way of saying, but like in the traditional sense of what a YouTuber is defined as, camera. Yeah, that's my take.
To me, here's my thought. This is a form factor. Just makes so much more sense than this is a form factor. Like
but it's back to what we talked about, which is use case. They're two different use cases.
but they're getting so close. And that's where, like, to me, here's like, where does it totally make sense? I think the GoPro, or just the GoPro like form factor, if you've got really good, which I think GoPro is top of class at electronic image stabilization. I mean, have you shot on the 13? It's so smooth. You can run and it looks great. If you're vlogging out in the middle of the day, I love the wide angle lens. It fits in my pocket. You can hold it out. And the new ones sync with a microphone, and it's
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. So that to me is like
Colden. Are you not hating on GoPro right now?
That's why I said, like, and I'm about to do a story hating on GoPro.
What is going on, Colden? Clearly
this is not
off some medications, or you're on some sort of medications.
But this is not. But I feel this all the time. This is not a great form factor. And when do I? And another thing that this will never do is Z-axis stabilization. You have to put it on a tilt-a-hydra thing, or like some version of that if you want that. So all you're doing is stable this, which is not the hard part of a gimbal. And so to me, and that's where I'm just like, right now, I mean, I watched, like, Peter McKinnon did this, and it's not this. It was the Luna, which is better than the Pocket 3, but like, this is going to replace all of your cameras. And I'm just going, it's a tool, and it's kind of a cool tool, and I definitely like it. But to me, this has one, maybe two phenomenal use cases, which is reframing and tracking. To me, and we talked about this is still my favorite behind the scenes camera, because I can auto track it to me, and then it can pan and tilt and follow me around the scene, and it cuts right in. I don't have to go reframe it after the fact. Like, that makes sense to me. But when I watch, like, oh, you need one of these to be a vlogger.
So what's the alternative, though, for the upcoming vlogger? It's that, or...
Well, we can get into that next, which is
GoPro, like, do you want... and so that is...
What do you want? Though. Yeah, what do you want? GoPro, because that's hard.
A Luna, an Osmo, or do you jump into DSLRs?
Right.
You know,
well, the $700-800 mark has never been more competitive. I think you have so many options in the 700 or 800.
But that's my point, and I think that's my point why the gimbal is attractive.
Yeah,
is that $700-800, that $500 to $700 mark, right? Like, you're moving into low-level prosumer, like the low-level DSLRs.
Yeah,
you'll be lucky if you can find something that, or point-and-shoot camera to vlog on. But, like, to me, these replaced all the point-and-shoots. Like, you don't need a point-and-shoot. You can take this, and I think there's something nicer. The funny thing is, I would prefer to vlog on the Osmo or the Luna rather than the GoPro.
Why is that?
Because I like the selfie stick feel rather than the I'm holding a like I like, because I would put a selfie stick on a GoPro.
I was gonna say, Jake, I would hate to blow your mind here. You know, you can buy a selfie stick for this thing.
Sure. And that's my point is I would still buy a selfie stick.
Right.
But there's the aspect of, is that like, and maybe it's a psychological thing, because I haven't seen that on GoPros of the pushing the stabilization, but there's that sensation of, oh, it's stable. It's more professional. Like, there's that instinctual marketing, whatever, with the gimbal, right? That you don't have on GoPro.
Yeah, I would totally argue it's just physical versus electronic. To me, this is just like, and I'm not knocking. I mean, obviously, I bought this one, and I'm a huge fan of the Pocket 3. I just feel like sometimes it's a little, what I've seen just feels so overhyped, in like you're kind of making up use cases for it that don't need a gimbal. Like it's kind of going back to the top of the show. Does every project require Cook lenses and an Alexa 35? No. And it just feels that's where I'm just like, I love this camera. It's a cool camera. I like the 1-inch sensor. The color science on this looks good. I have some complaints that maybe we talk about next show, just in terms of dynamic range. When I sat down and tested it, I sent that to you last night.
Yep.
But I'm sure that the new ones are going to be
this week.
The new ones are going to be even better. You know, the Xtra Muse 2 Pro or whatever. Like, very cool. But I do not like the form factor of this thing. It doesn't fit in your pocket. It's and the other thing that I just kind of always worry about personally is it feels way more fragile than like a GoPro. It feels more fragile than my FX3, than my A7S, than my like pointed, like it just feels, because you have a mechanical thing there and these arms that kind of lock in place. And like, if you look at the new DJIs, they kind of rattle. Like the tolerances aren't even good in the new 4P. I don't have it. I've just seen it. So I haven't tested it. But like, here's another great use case that not enough people are like, this is why a gimbal is really great. If you want really stable shots at night in dark places, that's where the GoPro falls apart. Electronic image stabilization looks like garbage when you have slower shutter speeds and you're like trying to stabilize in low light. These things kick ass in that, in that arena. But that's just where I'm like, it is just a shower thought that I had, is like, I feel like we're overhyping. It felt to me, to bring it back to this top of the show, like we're trying to sell everybody a Cook lens when you really just needed a G lens to go shoot your dad cam stuff. Like, this feels like a better dad cam. So, I'm not shilling for anybody, but it like just
compared to, because I have the Insta360 whatever, the Insta360 version of the GoPro, right? Yeah. And I don't use it for any of my behind the scenes because it annoys me.
Yeah.
I think I would use an Osmo more than I would use that.
Yep. And right? I told you, for tracking stuff, that's great.
But also, like, I wouldn't trust, like, for example, I've done a handful of behind the scenes stuff on the phone when I've given it to like my wife to shoot some behind the scenes. Yeah. I wouldn't trust her to hold that camera and have it look good. I would trust her to hold the Pocket Osmo, or the Osmo, the Luna, all these freaking names, man.
Yeah, they're all a gimbal camera. Let's just call it a gimbal camera.
A pocket gimbal camera. Yeah. I feel that footage would look better
than a GoPro.
Yeah. Than a GoPro or the that form factor. I would trust the pocket gimbal camera to look better than a pocket action camera. Sure. In a novice's no skill set at holding a camera, I feel the footage and image would look cleaner on a gimbal camera, on a gimbal pocket camera, than on a action cam. Now, I think for mounting, the action cam form factor is beat. It can be beat. Like, it is a smarter, but I constantly see on YouTube, Instagram Reels, is all the freaking car videos being shot with these pocket cameras now.
Well, and that's honestly, even though you said it flipped, I'd say that's another huge win for these type of gimbal cameras, because we've all had GoPros that you mount just like a couple of degrees wrong, and you get
you don't know.
You're either doing rollers with a car, or you're doing snowboard runs or whatever, and you're like, shoot, that's just my chin or whatever, or like it's not even pointed at the car. So being able to track and doing rollers on you're just tracking another car, it's a great use case. It's like, that's where I would pick a gimbal over an action cam.
And that's where I think putting it in the hand of a novice, and I think that's the use case that, again, like, for me, this is my argument for them over action cameras, is that in the hands of a novice, to point it at a kid and have the kid running around and it tracks them, that's the gimbal. Like, And it could be just the feature of the tracking, but I think it's also a little easier, it's a little smoother rather than these weird whip pans. Having a wife who, even though her husband is a director and a cinematographer, cannot take a photo or a video that looks good to save her life or my life. Cannot. And she knows it. I know it. We all know it. And she doesn't care. She's like, it's just not what I'm going to ever be good at. And I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I look at the use case of that individual and I go, that's who this camera would be great for.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the totally opposite side of the spectrum on that one, just because I feel like these cameras are more complex. You have to, like, there's more of a menu to get it to look right, in my opinion.
Really?
Than just like, I mean, there's one red
button
on the top of a GoPro that you just, here, push that and point it at the subject. And like, but I don't know. To me, it's just form factor at the end of the day, though, too. Like I said, I have both cameras, and I would look at the new Osmo 4P as another tool. I just feel like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this stacks up in a couple of, years. Wasn't that like the greatest clip ever? If you want more stuff like that, or you want to come hang out with us on the Creative Lens live podcast, maybe consider subscribing over here. And if you haven't checked it out already, I did a whole deep breakdown on all the DJI Xtra drama. You might want to check that one out over here, or just whatever YouTube thinks you might like right down here. Check it out. Consider subscribing. We'll see you in the next one.